All right. It's full past, so I would say let's get started. Thanks everyone for joining today. Welcome to the TOC meeting. All right, so we have a few things on the agenda. So I'd like to start with SIG updates. So for the CI/CD security working group, there is a project proposal. Let me open it here. So the project proposal is currently in the CI/CD security repo. So this will have to be submitted to the TOC repo so we can formally vote on that. Yeah, so I don't know. Tracy, you wanted to give
Sure. So this is a
introduction?
project, this is a project that I have been working on now for a little over a year. It's actually a SIG right now. And if you check out what we've done with the guide, it's a guide, but it is in a Doxy server. It's a Hugo Doxy server. Um, and what we did is we started working on identifying open source tooling that could be added to your CI/CD pipeline in order to comply with certain levels of the Secure Software Development Framework, which is a NIST, I can't remember, that's NIST 800-180 or something like that. It's broken down into different tasks, and the team went through each of the tasks and identified potential. So if you just click on phase one task, like prepare the organization there, yeah, right there. So for each one of these tasks, we went through and we identified potential open source tools that could be added to your pipeline in order to achieve the task. The next step, what they're going to work on next, there's two areas that they want to work on. One is the Cyber Resiliency Act, CRA, which is coming out of the EU, and do a similar mapping. The third thing they want to do is start working on AI, and AI is a much tougher one because we don't see ourselves as a body that makes makes recommendations, but only looks for existing guidelines and works to map tooling so that the CI/CD pipeline can be evolved and add these security steps or these particular tasks. Why I say AI is hard is because there's not a clear understanding of what needs to be done for AI, and there's not a lot of tooling around it. However, NIST is working on an update to the SSDF, and will be update for AI tooling around securing the framework. So we will be adding that. The other thing we'll probably do is potentially do something around AI to add a resource page at minimum to say, here's some of the gotchas. Google just came out with, I think, 8 or 9 new attack services. So to try to educate in the AI area until we have better direction. So we have a pretty decent team that's worked on this. I have to say, Anne-Marie Fred from Red Hat did an amazing job getting us started with documenting some of this stuff. Kate Scarcella has been doing great. Chris Stern has done a ton of work in formatting and making this a document that you can read. We want to add it, we want to build it, make it more interactive. Chris Stern is working on a landscape for this, so we can have a landscape doc in here to make it easier to understand because this stuff can be pretty confusing. So they have a lot of interests. We do need more technical people because right now we have a lot of people who are good at understanding security and and the NIST framework, for example. But we will need to have more people like Chris Stern, who's doing more coding on the back end of it to make it more interactive and build it up from just a guide to something that can be more useful and easier for a DevOps engineer to interact with. So they would very much like this to become a full project. They're very proud of the work that they're doing. They are excited to see it move into a status that they feel that other contributors would be interested in participating in, and moving it just from a a SIG conversation to an actual product that we're delivering. Steve Taylor has been working on this as well. He helped set up the Git repo. He works with Chris Stern on any of like the vulnerabilities that come across or any issues that we have to get anything cleaned up if somebody made a mistake, which it happens. And I've been working on rolling out some of the pages. So I've written a good part of this.
And from my understanding, Tracy, that Kate's pretty much the project lead on this.
Kate is she's the SIG chair. So
Okay.
she has been leading this. And Kate Scarcella, she is a retired IBM chief security person, architect. So she has her hands, she really understands the space well and has been great at giving us direction. She's the one pushing pretty hard for getting something out there around AI. I think that right now adding Cray to this is probably more important. And then once we get more clarification on what kind of tooling needs to be added. For example, I looked around and there's nothing that easily manages versioning an LLM or versioning prompts or even generating an AI bomb. Steve was looking around for that. And if you're not in Huggy Face, you're not going to get an AI bomb. So we're really early in, cybersecurity for AI. And again, as I said, our goal isn't to be a new requirement or a new standard. Our goal is to find the standards that people are working and then map the tooling to meet those standards.
Great, thanks, Tracy and Steve. Thanks for the pitch for the project.
Andrea, it seems people have trouble joining. So Jason said the link was broken. Jason, you mean in this TOC doc?
Yeah, the very top link is
Yeah,
incorrect.
I'll fix that. And then Ben is saying the Google Docs link, the Zoom bridge is empty. I guess, okay, yeah, same thing.
Yep.
I'll
My
fix
problem
it.
is our spam filters rewrote the URLs and broke all the Zoom URLs.
Do you know any way we can go around that, Jason? Is
It's
there any?
Mimecast is the company. It's rewriting the Zoom URLs with a Mimecast filter, which is unfortunately it's entirely on Harness's side. Probably what I need to do is switch this to my personal emails instead of my work emails. So that's on me. This is not TOC or anybody here. This is a problem with my company.
Okay, yeah, no worries, but yeah, let us know if there is anything we can do to help to be more helpful.
Yeah, I'll probably just switch all of this invites over to my personal and bypass this whole mess.
Sounds good. So what I would propose to do then is to collect any feedback folks may have in the meeting right now. And then as soon as we have the PR in the TOC repo, then I can send an email to the TOC distribution list, and then we can get formal votes. We need two-thirds by charter of the TOC with a positive vote. Yeah, so it's exciting to see this moving forward and applying to be a project. Oh, looks like we lost Tracy. Yeah, any comments before any comments on the proposal from anyone? Yeah.
I will take care of getting it moved over and creating the PR.
Oh, thanks for that, Steve. Yeah, that's great. A question I did have, but I think it was answered already. I mean, when Tracy mentioned AI, I wasn't sure where it was applying security to AI itself, or to like kind of the CI/CD infrastructure that is used to build AI models or replication and so forth. But I think it's more the latter, if I understood
Uh,
correctly.
it's going to be around, from my understanding, securing AI, like prompts, that type of thing. So securing the model itself, that will involve the CI/CD pipeline. But they're not going to be focusing on, at this time, using AI to secure the CI/CD pipeline. So it's going to
Mhm.
be securing AI itself at this point
Okay.
through the pipeline. So it's kind of, you get what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah. I know. Got it. So, oh, welcome back, Tracy. Um, right. Another question I did have was about the project GitHub repository. And we don't have to answer it now, anyways. But I mean, other projects have um, their own GitHub uh, organization and repository within, but I don't think that's a requirement at all. It's more like a question to the project where they want to have full control, admin control, or on a GitHub organization they want to manage. If that's the case, they need to create their own organization. Otherwise, yeah, the project could continue using
I
the
think,
repository they use today.
yeah, I think we should be okay because they'll have one, maybe two repositories at the most, not, like tons of repos. So I think leaving it under the CD Foundation org for now should be fine.
Okay, sounds good. That makes it easier. There is a number of requirements that we just need to make sure we kind of have a list in the proposal, like license, I guess source control, issue tracker, those kind of small things. Um, Link to the project website. They're probably already there. I'll just make sure that those are checked. And the other thing I wanted to raise, well, not as an issue, but like as a question. I think a lot of the wording around like criteria for incubating or graduating project, or some of the wording at least, is kind of assume some kind of software project. This will mainly be like a documentation project, as far as I understand. So we may need to agree as a TOC on what the criteria would look like for this kind of project. I think, let me see, like incubation stage. Okay, governing body documented to governance, that's fine. Committers is also fine. Yeah, I was thinking about the OpenSSF best practices badge. I'm not sure how that applicable it is.
That
Uh,
would probably still be applicable because um, you have, there is a code base around Hugo.
mm,
Um, so there are some, which is in Golang. So
okay.
let me take a look at running OpenSSF against the repo and see what we come up with.
Hmm.
Let me
Yeah,
run the scorecard.
yeah, sure. But I mean that would be a graduation criteria anyway, so that's not urgent. But I was just wondering whether, yeah. Also, like we have criterias in terms of like adoption. I guess we will need over time to understand what we mean by adoption if, for this, like it's like recommendations. Um, yeah, I'm not concerned about that. It's just I think it would make sense to clarify. So when we get to the point where we want to, maybe the project is applying for graduated stage, we have good understanding of how to apply this criteria to the project. Yeah, that's all I have on my
And I
side.
believe that I think that I went through that list. It's been a while since I put that doc together, but I thought I went through that list to make sure that we were meeting those, like licensing. We even have I even added a disclaimer statement to it.
And and I'll
So I think we should be okay.
I'll double check it when I create the PR.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. And then we need to take this proposal, this markdown proposal document into the CDF TOC repo.
Yeah, that's
Is
what I'll
that
do.
okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's probably just a straight copy into a PR into the TSC repo.
Okay.
So then once you have the PR link, I can send the email for the vote.
Okay, great.
All right. Any other comments? All right. Yeah, then thanks again, Tracy and Steve, for bringing this up. It's exciting to see this new project proposal. So yeah, we'll vote on it. I think when I send the email, I was planning on setting like a 2 weeks deadline to make sure we don't send like an open vote and we don't like just
That,
let time pass.
that sounds like a good time frame.
Okay.
Just keep in mind.
Andrea, you can also ask Kate to do a voting on LFX if you want.
Oh, yeah, that we can also do that. I mean, we did it with the email in the past, but now that we have
It's
the
up to
new,
you. I'm just saying if you want that.
why not? Let's use the tools we have, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Thanks, Roxanne. Yeah. Any other? I don't think we don't have anything from best practices or MLOps security groups, I expect. I think next item on the agenda is from you, Roxanne. New SIG ideas. Did you want to
Well, it was
discuss
for
this one?
Tracy. I put it on
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So we want to continue
Sorry.
growing the CD Foundation. And one way to do that is to start bringing in bigger conversations. So we have now our CICD cybersecurity SIG that is working hard. They're putting together a doc. They want to be a project, which is great. But we do need two other pillars to really keep this conversation going, AI being one of them. So we potentially want to create an AI SIG and a platform engineering SIG. It's just, that we're trying to do our best to evolve the CD Foundation to a bigger foundation so we can stay alive, basically. And one way to do that is to bring more people into the tent. And right now, everybody sees us as purely, Jenkins or Spinnaker, pretty much. That's what people talk about. What we need to do is broaden that. And we can do that initially through the SIGs. The governing board has been making changes to the direction and purpose of the CD Foundation. Platform engineering, cybersecurity, and AI are part of those pillars. And we need to, if somebody goes to our website, they need to go, well, what is it offering for platform engineering? At a minimum right now, we need both a SIG for platform engineering and one for AI. I don't know how we reach out to people to see if anybody would be interested in sharing that and picking it up off the ground and, making it into something real. It's a heavy lift, but it's something that's required. We really have to move forward in this area, in both of these areas. I don't know what kind of time commitments the folks here on the TOC would have, if any of you would be interested in picking up one of those, and eventually being able to turn it over to a committer that gets excited about it. But I think both of those topics are pretty active, and it would not be an overwhelming task in the long run, because I think we'd be able to build a community who would take it over. But I think to get it started, we're going to have folks that are already involved and are interested in moving the CD Foundation into these areas.
Thanks, Tracy.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just want to call
go
out.
ahead.
Yeah, I want to call out because platform engineering actually has like two definitions, with the newer one uh being more related to kind of like a stronger DevOps. But platform engineering before like the whole DevOps flow was more about like architecture um and like how different systems connected. So I think we need to just be careful and be very clear on what it is. Because like if you get people that are from like early days of coding, they might come in and be like, oh, platform engineering, that's like architecture and whatnot. So we just need to be clear on exactly like what that is. And because I'm also making the assumption that we are looking towards the DevOps simile, right? The thing that right?
Yeah, but the
Okay.
point, it's happening that those two are morphing together, right?
Yeah, they are. Yes.
They are slowly morphing together. And I believe that whoever runs the SIG would be able to define what part of the pie the CICD Foundation would like to talk about, or how you want to how it would be worded. But all I know is we need to bring those individuals into the conversation. And the more individuals that we can bring in, the more likely it is that the sales team can go out and sell memberships. Right now, they're struggling because we don't offer a lot.
So I guess my question then becomes,
We just are a CICD,
yeah,
orchestration foundation. So, well,
yeah,
however we
no,
do that, it doesn't matter to me, as long as there's an option on our website that says you're a platform engineer. Here's a SIG you could get involved in, and this is what we're talking about.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
if you're interested in AI, it would be the same way.
Yeah, yeah. I think AI makes a lot of sense for me. And I understand with platform because it is I say relatively new, but relatively new compared to everything else, right? So I guess my question becomes, is the purpose of the platform engineering SIG to discuss how tools, like our tools, work together and how it's used, or like what's the goal for that SIG, I guess is my question. Not goal like from a sales perspective, but just like from a technical perspective. Like if I'm a user and I'm interested in joining, like what would be the summary
I
blurb
think
for that?
if I, as a CI, somebody who's like a DevOps person, right? And I haven't gotten involved in platform engineering yet. I would want a SIG that that I could have discussions about what does it look like to turn my Jenkins CI/CD workflow into a platform engineering workflow. What does a platform engineering workflow look like? What are some of the best practices around platform engineering? So those are the kinds of discussions I think that we should be, that SIG should be happening. And everybody, I have to jump because I have a 10:30, I have another call in 3 minutes that I cannot miss. But I hope that we can keep this conversation going, and it would be good. I'm just going to put pressure on you guys. I'm putting pressure on both boards here. We have one opportunity to announce some of this stuff, and that opportunity is at CDCon, and it is literally 1 month away. So if we would like to introduce a new project and some new SIGs to get people excited when they leave CDCon, we need to make some decisions to move forward or not. Not is okay as well. But if we want to take advantage of CDCon and the people sitting in the room, we should make some decisions about it. That's all I'm going to say today. So,
Hey, yeah, Tracy, I want to reach out to you to get more. Like, I just want to discuss the idea because I think it's really good. I just needed to land on what it is, and I think we can help drive that. Get someone to run it and whatnot.
and I think that we have to do that for the AI SIG as well. Is
Yeah.
it AI in the CI/CD pipeline? Is it establishing what needs to be done to secure an AI workflow itself or the application? You know, where is prompt versioning? Why don't we have it yet? Are there some projects out there that are open source project that some universities working on that we might be able to bring in as a project into the CI/CD, into the CD Foundation? Those are the kinds of things I'm thinking about. So Ben, you're right, and we have to do it for both.
Okay. Yeah, let's
And
do
yeah,
that then.
reach out. I will send you an email with my calendar invite.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye, Tracy. Okay, yeah. Something I wanted to comment on this as well. I've seen, like, I was searching about what other foundation do. I've seen, for instance, the TOC from the CNCF. They had some initiative like this, like state of AI assisted development for CNCF project. And that made me think that maybe one way we could start this conversation is to actually go and query our project and our end user communities from this project about, what it is that they're doing in this space these days and what it is they would like to see, and what are the practices, the best practices that they have, or start some issues, ask questions, get people engaged, and that people, the people that are more interested, probably also potential candidate, for contributing to such SIGs or working groups. But yeah, I mean, from my side, I would be also okay with, like, also getting the SIG created as, like, very thin, with a very thin definition, and let the SIG themselves define the charters that we've done in the past. So if we want to have the SIGs up for CDCon, so that we have some place to direct people to, that also be okay for me.
The only issue that I have, like, I'm not saying thin is not a good idea. Like, I think we need to be thin, but not like too thin. The reason why is if we're going to advertise it, and if it's like if it's not describing enough, it might not be interesting, right? So I just want to make sure, like, if we're going to sell it, we should make sure that we come at it from more of a selling perspective, and ensure that we have a blurb that describes what it is that would be interesting for people that are interested in these concepts, right? So just wanted to call that out.
Yeah, that makes sense. So can I volunteer you and Tracy then to get started with a draft on the platform engineering one, Ben?
Yeah,
Since
I
you're
could do platform engineering, but I can't touch AI for patent reasons. So I just can't touch it. So yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. So I put, like, Tracy and Ben to work on the draft. Let's call it mission statement or scope. Do we have any volunteer to look at what an AI SIG might look like?
Do we have anyone in that area that would, like, anyone that we know that is in that area that might be interested in something like this? Because like, generally, like, I'm more on the side of like governance and CD and whatnot. So I'm just wondering, like, do we have someone that we know that's like really all about AI and just that's something that they'd be really interested in? Because then we could definitely just reach out to them and ask.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I do have some experience, but I'm kind of lacking the time. I don't want to say I'll do something and then do not have the energy to put into it. So,
Maybe who was on the CDCon AI like day or something? And I know that Tracy wanted to talk to our keynote Jennifer Mulford at CDCon to get her like interested as well. She's going to talk about AI.
That's a good idea, Roxanne. Yeah, we can try to reach out to some of those people.
Yeah. Do you want me? Was it Jing and who was it? I'll have to look, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to look as well. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Anything else on Six idea? Anything else? Any other areas people think we should be looking at? All right. Next topic on the agenda is the project updates, the Q1 project updates. Thanks for bringing this up, Roxanne. Yeah, just a reminder, as usual, updates should be submitted by via GitHub PR into the TOC repo. So we do have one folder per repo. Yeah, so for city events, I guess we just seeing it, we'll need to rename the Jenkins X folder to the new project name and probably move ShipRite and Tecton to an archive
Yeah,
folder.
or like previous. Yeah. We're announcing the
Yeah.
JX name tomorrow. No, Thursday. And the logo.
Oh,
yeah.
Exciting. Okay, I'll make a PR for those updates.
Mark, did you mind looking at the announcement for JX? Because they do mention Jenkins, and I just want to be sure that it's, accurate, and I don't know the history, all of that.
Okay, yeah, I don't have access to the
I
document, but
just
I
gave
sent
you
you the request.
access.
Okay, great. Yeah, happy to look at it.
Thank you. It'll go live Thursday. Sorry for the short notice, but it is short.
No problem. Let's move on it while we got it.
All righty. Anything else from anyone today? Yeah, then give you back 24 minutes of your time. Thanks for joining today. Great to see everyone.
Is Tracy?
And
Tracy's gone. Darn it. Okay.
Yeah, Tracy had to drop off at the 30-minute point. She had another meeting she couldn't miss.
Okay. Somebody was asking if they wanted Spinnaker rep at CDCon.
Oh, I am giving a talk on lightning talk for Spinnaker. So that is something I could do as long as it doesn't intersect with my talk time.
Yeah, Tracy had asked in the Spinnaker community if there was somebody available, and I was going to be like, okay, I can go. I hadn't right now planned on attending CDCon because I've been swamped.
But I
Yeah,
think that was taken care of by, like, we scheduled Ben, I believe, in that slot.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
awesome.
Great.
It's the same thing, so it's all good, Jason. You can still attend, of course, but the talk is taken.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
all right. Okay, then see you next time.
Bye,
Have a
everyone.
great rest of your
Thanks.
day. Bye.
Bye.
Buddy.
Bye.